Hey guys, today I want to share with you probably the most impressive Seiko Prospex diver that I've shared on the channel. And I've tried almost every at least popular modern Seiko release. I've tried them all. I'm a huge Seiko fan. They're my favorite brand. And I recently bought this Transocean, this SBDC, from my friend Jeff of the Jeffrey McMahon channel. And he's got an awesome channel, and I'll put a link to it in the description if you haven't seen it. If you're a watch obsessive like myself and you love Seiko and Citizen, he's got a great channel. Anyways, he had this on his channel for a while, and he was really the only channel that featured it and talked about how great it is. And you know, the watch has been out for a couple years, and I've always looked at it and go, yeah, I want to try it out. You know, I'll go on Watch Recon, I'll go look at pre-owned pricing, but something always kept me from pulling the trigger. I don't know what it was. And I think a lot of you are in that similar situation where you look at it and you go, yeah, it has some nice specs. It's an attractive original design, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to buy it. I totally understand that because, you know, I've been in that boat. But Jeff said, hey, Bruce, I'll give you a good deal. You can buy mine. That way, if you decide you don't like it and you sell it, you won't lose your shirt. I really appreciate that. And that's what tipped me over the edge to buy the watch. And I've spent a good solid week with this on wrist. I actually have not been tempted to wear any of my other watches, my Cartier, my Rolex, my G-Shocks, my other Seiko. This has been dominating my wrist, and for good reason, because it's an awesome watch. And I don't know, I kind of feel bad that I haven't given it its proper shot before now, because it's impressive. It has a distinct premium feel to it that you don't get in other Seiko watches. Like, I'm wearing the Blue Coral Sumo right now. And to me, this Transocean does not feel quite related to like a Coral Sumo, which really isn't a whole lot less in price. To me, this feels more like Grand Seiko or high-end Seiko like the Marine Master. It definitely has that premium feel, and part of that is just due to the execution here. We have a beautiful case, integrated bracelet, one-piece ceramic bezel, inlay here in the crown, sapphire crystal, and an ever-changing dynamic dial that just, you know, in some lights looks like a transitional black to blue dial, like kind of like the Rolex Deep Sea. And then in other lights, especially in like direct sunlight, you see some purple tones that are very vibrant and clear. And then in other lights, it almost looks black. So it's ever changing. It's so much more than a reflective sunburst dial. And I think this color combination is the most attractive out of all the options that Seiko offers for the Transocean. Take a look at these dial details here. This is where the watch really shines. Your text, Seiko, and then the Prospex pyramid of text. It's cool because it's not just a white or a gray paint here. What they're using is, to me, it looks like the same formula that they use on Grand Seiko. It has that deep, dimensional, reflective, metallic silver effect to it. And it looks really great. It really stands out and pops against this dynamic, ever-changing dial. Your applied markers are done well, and notice in daylight, the lume looks white or desaturated. So if this was just, you know, the standard Lumibrite that kind of has the green look in daylight, I think it would detract a little bit from the overall look of the watch, because, you know, when it's desaturated, I think it's a little stronger, at least with this color combination. But in low light, guys, it's just as potent as other Seikos. Now, I would say it's on par with like the Sumo, certainly nicer than your Turtle, Samurai, SKX, and a step below a Marine Master or the King, which in my eyes is the Seiko Tuna. But going back to that dial, look at the chapter ring. Look how it's notched for those applied markers. And the chapter ring still has that color changing effect to it. It's reflective. I think it matches the dial real well and is a good transitional element between the dial and that ceramic bezel. Now, the ceramic bezel has a nice shape to it, and I think the font's attractive. It's engraved and inlaid with white. So, you know, even at more extreme angles where you're getting a lot of reflections off of the ceramic, it's still legible, unlike other higher end watches like the Omega Seamaster, where in some lights the bezel is just totally illegible because the indexing is just printed right on top. Now let me give you a sense of the action. This is very, very nice. And one of the reasons why the watch has that premium feel, to me this feels like a Grand Seiko bezel or a Marine Master 300. It's very loose and smooth and clicky and much different than the lower end Seiko Pro Specs bezel operation. So a really nice bezel action. In the watch, although, you know, it's got the nice elements like sapphire and ceramic and upgraded bracelet and clasp, you know, the things that we as Seiko fans have been moaning and groaning about for a long time. Seiko listened to us. They released this watch with all of those things that we like, but it's still, you know, it's still paired with all the things we love about Seiko watches, like nice finish work, original case, functionality, luminescence, a very beautiful dial. And so they've kind of given us the best of everything here in the watch. Although it is expensive at around $1,000, to me it's worth it. You know, it has the higher end premium feel, but not at a crazy premium price. There are a lot of people out there that have no problems in spending $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 on Seiko products. This definitely should be included near the top of the list. Now, I've talked the watch up, I've kind of hyped it, I guess. What would be negative aspects to this piece? Every watch has, you know, at least one thing that could be improved or would be considered a negative element. For me, the case and bracelet is treated with Dia Shield, so it's gonna have enhanced resistance to surface wear and scratches and stuff. I like that. But it slightly alters the appearance of the stainless steel, makes it a little bit deeper in saturation. And here's where the negative element comes in. When you wash this under the tap, or you get some dish soap and you put it on, you just want to clean it up. When you're drying it, it is prone to retaining water, water stains and smudges, fingerprints. And even if you're wiping it with a microfiber cloth, it can be difficult sometimes to really clean it up and get it looking beautiful, because I mean, just take a look at this bracelet. I love the raised center link. I like the high polished chamfered edges. So when I do a wrist roll with the watch, the bracelet is almost more dynamic than the sapphire bezel, the sapphire crystal dial and ceramic bezel. So it's just a really nice design and execution. So definitely the bracelet is nicer than what we're used to seeing from Seiko, but it can retain some smudges and fingerprints and such when you're trying to clean it off, and that can be slightly annoying. Another area of improvement, I'd like to see screw links as opposed to pin and tube when you're connecting the pins together. I don't necessarily have a problem with pin and tube, but the premium watches have screw links, so I guess I could say that could be one area of improvement. But other than that, the watch is dynamic, it's original, it has the elements, it has the accuracy, it has the fine details and just wrist presence and aura that just makes me so impressed by the watch. And again, kind of makes me feel sorry that I haven't given it a shot before now, because it is among the best when it comes to value proposition from Seiko, even though the retail price is a little high. You know, it's a little higher than your SBDCs or your Sumos or Monsters or whatnot. So I'm impressed with the watch. I'm gonna talk about how great it is in future videos. And if you guys are on the fence, if you like me were thinking, yeah, I like it, I don't know if I wanna try it out, it's worth it. The watch has that premium feel, and it is dynamic as can be and very, very impressive. So I hope, Jeff, if you're watching this, I kind of hope you don't want it back. Obviously, if you do, I'll be happy to send it right back. But this one, like I said, it's just been dominating my wrist. I'm not tempted to wear my other watches. I've been loving it, and I can definitely see this being a very long-term addition to my own watch collection from my favorite brand, Seiko. So anyways, guys, let me know if you have any questions. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch. Check out Jeff's channel if you haven't already. He's got a great channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video.